Hey, what is up guys? GuitarRock here. Welcome back to another counter-side video. Alright, today's video, I'll be doing something different. Hopefully help some of you guys who are new to this game, who are returning to this game recently out there. And I want to do like a daily guide for you guys out there. Now, what is the daily guide is going to be all about? A lot of you guys might not be aware, but recently, the quality of life basically allows us to sweep a lot of stages. As you can see, I purposely stack my Eternium to maximum 30,000 right now. So if you guys are returning to the game, maybe this can help you guys decide on which stages you should be farming. And because this is something that I get asked a lot, hey GuitarRock, where do I farm right now? Where do I farm? Like, where's the best place to farm for gold, etc, right? So hopefully, just an updated guide for your daily sweep and stack stages. Let's jump into it. Now, usually the first thing that I'll do whenever I turn up the game is I'll go to operation right here, go to supply operation, and these 3 stages I will never fail to farm every single day. Alright, so that is the binary stage right here. So these 2 binary stage, so I will just skip all of this. So as you can see right now, alright, very useful feature, all of these supply operation stages can be skipped. So just press OK. Now I got 11 binaries for farming 3 stages. Keep in mind the skip is not available for all the stages. Alright, it will only be available in the supply operation, in the simulation, and in the side story. If you were to play the regular story, for example, or some of this challenge, you can't skip, but you can stack instead. So we're going to cover that later. But for now, usually, like I mentioned, this is the stage that I'll farm. 1-4 right here, and 1-6. Now, why am I farming in these stages? These things are the binaries. Binaries are extremely useful in terms of improving your gears. Now, there are 2 types of binaries. One is the gold binaries, which allows you to modify set effects. Alright, so the set option for that particular gear. Now, these purple binaries, however, you can modify the lesser option. Alright, obviously, you can't farm gold binaries, but the best you can do to improve your gears is to basically farm these things right here. So let me just briefly show you guys in case you guys are wondering. So for example, this gear, right, you can see skill haste 30%. Now this is the set option. When you go to gear tuning, there's this change set option. This one will use gold binaries, but there's these 2 stat right here, the sub stat. Now this one can be modified using this tuning binary. Now, tuning binary, you can basically farm this daily, alright, in those 6 stages that I showed you earlier. So that is the one that you want to focus on. That's the one that I've been focusing on for the longest time ever. Alright, so boom, as you can see, done, just like that. Now, I used to farm these infos, but lately, since the update of the new skip feature or the stack feature, I haven't been farming any infos because I just don't see the need for them. Because right now, stack doesn't need infos anymore. It used to be, if you stack battle, like let me show you guys in the stack category right here, in the challenge. For example, right here, if I were to come here, this one you cannot skip, this one will be stacked instead. Like as you can see, you don't use infos anymore. So they removed that feature altogether. However, infos will still be used in skilling up your character's skill, and you can also use info to do dives and raids. So that's how most of the usage of the infos are. I don't think you'll need that many, but to be honest, yeah, I don't really farm this every day anymore. But if this is something that you need, obviously farm it. Now, 1-7, this one is gonna depend on you. Obviously, a lot of players have not unlocked this yet. This one, I would say if you can, farm this as well so that you can get your free Evolve one. Now, a lot of players, they haven't really unlocked this part yet because you need to be able to do dive 49 and 50, or 50 in particular, right? So you need to beat 48, 49 to reach 50. And it's really a big hassle. So if you are new to the game, you don't have this unlock, sure, don't worry about it. But if you have this unlock, this is definitely one of the ones that you want to do every single day because you get 30 of these things, gold bullet. Now, like I mentioned, you're going to need these gold bullets to be able to purchase your free E1, and it's going to take months, about 3 to 4 months if I'm not mistaken, to be able to obtain your free awaken character. So it is a free awaken at the end of the day. It is tough, yes, but at the end of the day you are getting 1 free awaken. So that's like 1 awaken that you don't have to worry to pull for or to save for. Alright, so let's talk about the other stages. Now, simulation. Obviously, simulation is something that you have to do every single day. I don't see why you not want to do this because these tickets are limited to twice per day. So definitely, you know, skip the simulations as well because you can skip them. Simulations are so easy to sweep through. Now, some players, they do buy extra simulation tickets. Now that's gonna depend on you. Usually I'll buy one extra for the anti-air training. As a free-to-play, maybe you can afford to buy one or even two. Now if you buy the first time, it's 30 quartz. If you buy the second time, it's 60 quartz. If you buy the third time, it's 90 quartz. So buying one time is still okay. It's still within the free-to-play manageable currency. You know, you do get that back in dailies and weeklies anyway, so that's something that if you can afford to, go ahead. Now I do recommend the anti-air because it gives all of these, which you can convert to fusion cores. Let's see how much Ethereum do we have so far. So now we have used almost half of our Ethereum currency. So we still have 16,000 left. So this is where it's gonna depend on you, ideally, where to farm next. Right now, currently, as of me recording this video, there's an event going on right now. The militia, as you can see right here. Alright, so obviously, with event stages going on, you want to farm the event stage. Usually, you want to farm the harder stages. Just constantly farm, and like I said, they have made it so easy that you can skip events as well. So skipping events is so good. The objective of the event is usually you want to buy as many things as you can from the event shop. From this particular event shop, some of these are not super valuable. For example, the T6. It's not the end of the world if you skip them because these are not super valuable with the T7 gears available to us right now. T6 gears doesn't seem like much. And also, as of the time of this event is running, there's also one more challenge stage that's running, which is the Chloe's credit search. Now, Chloe's credit search comes once in a while. Alright, sometimes it gets replaced by the Chloe's the info search. Sometimes it gets replaced by the Chloe's binary search or something. But Chloe's credit search, in my opinion, is the most valuable. So if Chloe's credit search is there, ideally, you want to farm as much as you can right here. Alright, to get a lot of credits. This is like the best way to farm credits right now, bar none. Like, it's not even close. It used to be you can farm like free contract 333, but with this Chloe's credit search, you get an insane amount. Now, I've made a guide talking about this before. Before you go in all the way and stack a bunch of it, please go to your guild, alright, and do this first. Buy the most expensive buffs that will give you the most amount of credits. Like in this case, this one, but as you can see, I don't have enough, so I'm just gonna buy this one. So this will give me bonus of a credit gain plus 5%, which is a lot. So before you go into Chloe's credit search, obviously, you know, check your inbox if you got something, any Ethereum going on. And also if you haven't claimed the daily one, claim this as well, so you can go in all the way. And then usually you want to farm the harder stage. Obviously, if you can't farm the harder stage, if you haven't 3-star it yet, you might need to farm the second hardest stage. But ideally, you can see I can do up to 40 times right here. As you can see, this one is going to be stacked as opposed to skip. So you're forced to play the stage one time, but you'll get 40 times the rewards because I stacked for 40 times, or was it 30 times? So you still have to do the stage once, but it's still simplifying the things altogether. It's so convenient. Like, I just wish more games would follow the steps of what Counterside is doing in terms of skipping, in terms of stacking, because it doesn't make sense to leave your phone or your device auto-running. I think a lot of players have complained about this in Arc Knights, in Epic 7. Those games are like notorious for forcing players to leave their device running, grinding for hours. Alright, so something like this is definitely going to be much appreciated. Okay, so Chloe's credit search, done. So obviously, Chloe's credit search, as you guys can see, right now this stage is going to expire in 2 days and 9 hours left. And based on my experience, something that I do see players complain a lot about is Chloe's credit search is always there alongside with a new event, which is something that I do agree. Like, they always put Chloe's credit search alongside with an event. So a lot of players, they ended up spending all their stamina in the event and not spending any stamina in Chloe's credit search. So this is where you have to like maybe balance it out, or maybe you can put priority in Chloe's credit search first, because in this case you can see this is expiring first, 2 days, whereas the event is still 16 days left. So obviously, you know, try to plan your stamina accordingly. Make sure you farm the one that's, you know, going away first. And Chloe's credit search, I think, is quite important, considering that right now rearm takes a lot of your gold away, and this is like the best stage to be getting a bunch of gold. Now, let's say Chloe's credit search is not here, right? Let's say this Chloe's credit search is not here, and then the event, let's say you are already you're done with the shop. Alright, so the event shop, you already empty out the shop, you bought everything here. And you have spare excess Eternium, spare excess stamina. Now where do you farm then? Alright, so in that case, you have a couple of options. Number one, if you are interested in T7 gears, this in my opinion is optional. I don't think any players should prioritize in this unless you are a heavy PvP player. And in that case, sure, go get a bunch of T7 gears. You want to farm in the last stage if you can. If not, farm the second last stage. That will give you the most return. As like I mentioned, these stages can only be stacked. So to get the weapon materials, you need to farm in Steely Ruins. To farm the armor materials, you need to farm Traces of Resistance. And for accessories, you will need to farm Where Nightmares Prevail. Now I've already made a video on some of the stages. I can only 3-star the last stage of this particular one, so the 1-4. Now for the other two, it's definitely tough. I haven't been trying, but I do get like 1-star for these Red Titan ones. This one is really hard. It's like a very hard DPS check, so you need like very good gears to be able to 3-star them, beat the stage within 1 minute 30 seconds. And same goes for this one. I haven't attempted beyond 1-2, so this is not really my focus. So what I usually farm instead of these T7 gears, I usually prefer to come here in the Riot Suppression and farm on this one instead. Now this one is, in my opinion, quite important as well. So right now, these things, the Special Catalyst is probably your best ways to obtain fusion cores. I do farm this quite often. You can skip this as well, which is quite good. You don't have to stack this. This is like a skip. Everything in the supply operation can be skipped. So this is, in my opinion, the most valuable stage to farm out of all of this. So why is that? These things allow you to, convert your excess cores, APT cores, into fusion cores. Now let's jump into the workshop to show you guys. What do I mean by that? If you go here, this is the gear, go to the APT core right here. Now you can see there's way for you to get fusion cores, right? And fusion cores are needed for your characters to level past level 100. Alright, from level 100 to 102, for SSR and Awaken, you will need 15 fusion cores. Every 2 levels will need 15 fusion cores. So from 100 to 110, you're gonna need 75 fusion cores. That's a lot, alright? And every single one of that level will increase their stats by 1%. Now obviously with rearm and stuff right now, these things are going to be super valuable because now with rearm is here, it's harder to get fusion cores, right? Because you don't want to use spare SSR characters and convert them to fusion cores. Yes, you can if you get like a spare Estarossa, for example. You can basically, sell her and convert her to fusion core. You can do that. But with the rearm here, you shouldn't do that anymore. You should use those SSR dupes for rearm data, for rearm materials. And with that being said, it's going to be harder to obtain fusion cores. So that means you can only rely on getting the spare APT cores right here, right? These things right here to convert them to fusion core. I do this a lot, especially for the soldiers and the mechs. Like just come here and check. You might have like plenty of soldier APT cores, plenty of mech APT cores. You might have like, I have 87 right now. You might have like 300 of these. So if you do, feel free to just convert them to fusion cores. Like look at this. I'm getting 10 fusion cores. And I don't think there's any soldier units that's coming anytime soon. So we're just gonna do that. Which is why I do encourage players, right, in the simulation to basically buy one ticket, at least one ticket per day for this, because these cores can be converted to fusion core. Now if you want to, you can buy 2. I used to always buy 2 last time when I spend money in the game, but nowadays, I only buy 1 because I'm going free to play. Now last but not least, side story. Obviously side story is also something that you can farm every single day. You should farm some of these, but I don't think you should farm all of this because it will take too much of your energy or stamina, right? So I would say try to farm selectively depending on which characters that you do not own and which characters that you need. So try to get them specifically from here. Last but not least, let's talk about some of the stamina that you can buy every single day. Right now, as you guys can see, there's a lot of things going on right now in the game. Alright, there's Chloe's credit search, which you ideally want to farm credits. There's also an event going on. So in that case, you can consider buying stamina at least 3 times a day. Now you can click on the Eternium right here and access the buy. Now as you can see, the conversion rate is 2000 Eternium for 50 quartz. Now in my opinion, I would say as a free-to-play player, you can consider buying this 3 times a day. Now 3 times a day is the max I would go for a free-to-play player. Quite a good value actually, it's not bad. Alright, but keep in mind that it goes up afterwards. So now I bought 3 times, the next 3 times, if I were to buy it, it's going to be 75 quartz. Now it's going to be much more expensive this time. This one might not be that worth for free-to-play. Maybe if you're a spending player, this is okay. But every single day you will have a chance to buy 2000 Ethereum for 50 quartz. That's something that I would advise if you're trying to progress faster. Now if you're trying to take your own time, do things at your own pace, you don't mind it that much, sure, just don't bother spending the extra quartz and save it for pulls instead. But if you're trying to progress faster, I would say that's a very good value for 50 quartz. You can consider doing that for sure. Alright, so with that being said, I'm done with the video. Let me know what you guys think. If there's anything that I missed, feel free to let me know in the comments section below. And yeah, I hope this can help you guys. If you guys are returning players that just came back to the game and want to try to sweep the stages, or you're figuring things out on your own, hopefully this video can help guide you a little. As always, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, give this video a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day. Goodbye.